Oh, I didn't realize it sounded a little like one set.
That one kind of had you, so.
Every tutorial, literature teacher Jessica Kaufman's classroom buzzes with excitement as students play It Takes Two, the video game that forms the basis of the video game unit for contemporary literature. Amid the organized chaos, Kaufman sets up for the class. PS4s and controllers need to be connected to their TVs and reset to the right point in the game. Once class starts, students work in groups to play the game and analyze the experiences of main characters Cody and May as they struggle to mend their broken relationship and parent their daughter Rose. As a video game player herself, Kaufman has wanted to incorporate video games into the curriculum for years. And about 2 years ago, she began working with literature teacher Randy Holliday to formalize the unit and secure funding.
So we would incorporate video games as part of an activity we were doing for a day in class, and it was always a huge hit. So we'd always been kind of talking about what would it be like to teach a video game.
Despite the high cost of gaming equipment compared to books, Kaufman and Holliday secured funding from the MVHS discretionary budget, which Principal Ben Klossensor allocates for programs beyond district-funded ones, and were able to implement the unit. A core element of the unit is that it's centered around group work, which Senior Harish Chen says makes the game more interesting and easier to play.
Playing video games by myself is not nearly as fun as playing with others. And in the video game unit, it's 4 people and I'm playing with a partner, and then every 20 minutes we switch. And then we take notes and the other pair starts playing the video game. This helps me bond with my group a lot more, and I think that makes the time go by faster.
Senior Andrew Sunwoo agrees, saying that working cooperatively with his group has kept him more interested throughout classes than when everyone does individual reading and analysis. Beyond this, he says the trial and error process with his classmates fosters a safer environment that makes for enhanced analysis.
Sometimes make mistakes, we laugh and get over it. And I think it's been really fun to break the ice. It's very easy for new perspectives to be brought up that I may have not thought of, and I can bring up other stuff that other people might not have thought of.
With the focus on the plot of the game, Kaufman says accessibility was a major consideration for her. Not only did she choose a game she felt was playable and enjoyable even for students with no gaming experience, she also created the groups to balance out experience levels. She paired beginners with people who were more comfortable with video gaming, a decision Sunwoo says worked out well for his group.
Even though we started at these different levels of understanding of video games, we were able to work through, and the one that knew a lot about video games sometimes helped the one that still needed some help with video games. So even though I am a beginner player, I think that it is easy to adjust into the setting. Any person who takes this class and does the video game could have a really good time playing the game and learning about the storyline, which is actually very interesting as well.
Kaufman believes that this accessibility and entertainment have been major factors in the overwhelmingly positive response from students, both this year and during last year's pilot unit. She says that by keeping students engaged and less stressed, it also enhances their learning skills even more than
It feels like it's actually working, where things feel simpler or whatever, and they're being asked to do kind of similar stuff that they would in a book, but they're finding it easier, even if it's the same or, more difficult at times, like what I'm asking for students to look at.
I'm just hoping that they take away, 1, that English isn't just about books. 2, that they're better at analyzing than they think they are.
Chen confirms that this perspective shift has transferred to students, adding that he realized over the course of the unit how powerful video games could be for storytelling. He also found himself surprisingly emotionally invested in the story, which he isn't used to feeling when he plays video games by himself.
Of course, when we're playing shooter games, it's best not to get too emotionally invested in those, but in a video game like It Takes Two, something I don't normally play, I find myself getting emotionally invested, and that's sort of the point, right? If you empathize with the characters and you're able to witness and feel struggles that you didn't think you would normally feel.
Given the success of the unit this year, Kaufman hopes to make it a permanent part of the contemporary literature curriculum, as well as potentially expand it into a genre study with multiple games. She notes that the analysis aspect of the unit is applicable to any literature course, as long as the games chosen have core storylines.
It's really about inspiring a love of stories to me, and stories can be told in various formats.
So you stay on the bus.